Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool.
The Marx Brothers. So I've been thinking about branching out into other mediums because I also like movies and I have a big collection of animation. Would you all be interested? The ones that are closest to my heart to start with would be the Marx Brothers, because I've had Groucho's face tattooed on me for most of my adult life. And if you don't know them, they're one of the great comedy teams of the early age of film. That's Chico above me, Groucho, and then Harpo, one of the greatest mimes of his generation. And so, to me, the movie to start with would be A Day at the Races. This is one of their classics and a great one to start with if you don't know the Marx Brothers. They are trying to save a struggling sanitarium by betting on a not-so-lucky horse and has some of their most classic scenes in here. It was under Irving Thalberg at MGM, and it was directed by Sam Wood. And both of those guys were really great at bringing out the Marx Brothers and not making it just a grab bag of scenes from them, but turning into a real movie with a supporting cast. So this isn't just the highlights of the best of the Marx Brothers. It feels like a real movie. And the reason that the jokes were so good, besides their comedy genius, is they would test this stuff on the road. They would do small shows, they would do burlesque shows, and they would test their material and see what would work, what didn't, and time the laughs as well. So in the movie theaters, you wouldn't be laughing when the next joke came, which is an important part of the early talking cinema. And so this is a great one to get started with, but if you want something deeper from them, check out Duck Soup. This is their political movie. It did not do well at the box office, but it really is an important one to watch today. Groucho becomes the president/dictator of a little island, and it turns into a treatise on politics, a lot like Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator did with Adolf Hitler. And so this is perhaps the deepest of the Marx Brothers movie, while still being a really fun one. And because it is still a book channel, let me go over their books. Groucho wrote Groucho and Me, which is really funny. He was a great writer. It's a short book and very enjoyable. Chico wrote no autobiography. He was probably too busy chasing the chicks and gambling. But the best of the lot actually turns out to be Harpo Speaks, because not only did he cover being a Marx brother, he also talked about what it was like to be a poor Jewish kid in New York and getting into vaudeville. So if you like A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, it's something like that. A great look at a time past with his nuanced eye for characters. But even more fascinating was he was a member of the Algonquin Round Table. And this was the New York City Hollywood jet set of the smartest minds of their generation. Funny people like Alexander Wolcott and Dorothy Parker. And Harpo was in that group because he was a good listener and everybody liked him. So it's Harpo and his observations on the smartest, funniest minds of his generation. Mwah! Harpo Speaks.